Have you ever wondered why an apple falls straight down from a tree and not sideways? Or why does a car slow down when you stop pressing the gas pedal? These curiosities all boil down to the fundamental laws of dynamics, the principles that guide the motion of objects. It all begins with the first law of dynamics, often referred to as the law of inertia. This law states that an object will remain at rest or move in a straight line at a constant speed unless acted upon by an external force. So, when you slide a book on a table, it eventually stops because of the frictional force from the table. Without this friction, the book would continue to slide indefinitely. Moving on to the second law of dynamics, also known as Newton's second law of motion, it tells us that the force exerted on an object is equal to its mass times its acceleration. In simpler terms, if you push a heavy object, it will move slower than a light one. This law explains why a small car accelerates faster than a truck when both are given the same amount of force. Then we have the third law of dynamics, often simplified as, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. This means that any force exerted on a body will create a force of equal magnitude, but in the opposite direction on the object that exerted the first force. This is why when you jump off a boat, the boat moves backward. Now let's move on to the lesser known but equally important law of dynamics, the law of conservation of momentum. This law states that the total momentum of a closed system remains constant unless acted upon by an external force. For instance, in a game of pool, when a ball strikes another, the total momentum before and after the collision remains the same. So to summarize, the laws of dynamics are fundamental principles that govern the motion of objects. The first law, the law of inertia, states that an object will remain at rest or in uniform motion unless acted upon by an external force. The second law tells us that the force on an object is equal to its mass times its acceleration. The third law states that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Finally, the law of conservation of momentum states that the total momentum of a closed system remains constant unless acted upon by an external force. Understanding these laws not only helps to explain everyday phenomena, but also forms the basis of many fields of science and engineering. So, the next time you see an apple fall from a tree or a car slowing down, remember it's all about the laws of dynamics in action.